Good evening.
Good evening.
Walk us through your thinking as you watch some of these returns. We're beginning to see very large states like Michigan either go to the president or are called early to call with the president ahead. What is the thinking in Boston?
Well, listen, all I can tell you, I'm here in Richmond. Obviously, Virginia is very, very important for the outcome of tonight. They just called my race. We're very excited with the outcome of the election here in the 7th District. I represented largely based in the suburbs of Richmond. It is a heavy Republican area. We saw a turnout that was off the charts today. People came out before polls even opened. Part of the reason I think you're seeing why Virginia is taking so long to report is because the state has made a decision not to report until everyone has voted. The lines are so long that they're trying to get folks through and voted before they release any kind of numbers. So again, I think that it demonstrates a huge interest in tonight's election.
And that's certainly the case across the country, these long lines and pretty good turnout, which is, of course, what we're focused on. What state are you zeroing in on, Mr. Leader, in terms of what's going to move the needle for Governor Romney at this point?
Well, we absolutely need to deliver Virginia because I know it's an important part of an electoral map for us Republicans. But again, as we saw over the last week, we saw the Romney campaign go into some other states that had traditionally not been part of the discussion even. So we're looking for some strong performance. And again, I can just tell you by the delivery of the vote tonight in my district, this part of Virginia is consistent in the race that I just had with its typical performance in terms of wanting lower taxes and a focus on the economy so we can grow jobs.
Eric Cantor, it's Larry Kudlow. Good to see you tonight, sir. Thank you for coming on. Let me just pick up where you left off. If the White House stays with Obama, if the Senate stays Democratic, we all know the House is going to stay Republican. How will you litigate the fiscal cliff, the big tax hike, and the defense spending cuts? How does it play out, Eric?
Larry, as you and I have spoken on many occasions before, all of us need to come together as Americans to focus on growth. We need to grow this economy. We need to make sure that small business as well as entrepreneurs have the incentives to get back into the game, to invest their capital and create jobs. That's where we can all come together, set aside differences, put in some pro-growth tax measures, put in a pro-growth spending outlook so we can reduce that spending and get government back into its traditional and right side.
So, Congressman, what are you willing to give on then? I mean, can you talk to us about what you would be willing to compromise on? We know the issues, the tax cuts extending for everybody or just those making under $200,000 versus the spending cuts. What do you want to give on?
Well, Maria, I think as you've seen and what Mitt Romney is proposing, what all of us, I think, on both sides of the aisle are proposing, that we want to lower rates for everybody, but we need to fill those loopholes. We need to get government out of the business of picking winners and losers so that we can see growth again premised upon economics, not some skewed tax policy. And I think that's where the discussion will be throughout the end of next year, throughout the entire next year, is how we're going to shape that so we can bring tax rates down both in the corporate and the individual level.
I know it's...
We should mention, as you're looking at your screen right there, Larry, New Jersey, NBC News saying that is going to go to Barack Obama, 14 electoral votes. Leader Cantor, there's so much discussion about Chris Christie and Sandy. It's hard to separate the phenomenon of the weather from the race itself. But if Christie hadn't been so embracing of the president, might Jersey have gone red?
You know, again, I'm not familiar with the New Jersey presidential politics, but what I can tell you is Chris Christie did what he had to do. He had people that were killed because of this storm. He still has hundreds of thousands of people without power, without shelter, some without food, certainly without fuel. He is the governor of that state, and the people of that state look to him for leadership, and I commend him for the good job that he's been doing.
All right, we'll leave it there. Leader Cantor, great to have you on the program. We so appreciate your time tonight. We'll be watching.
Okay, Maria, thank you.